Tony D and Little Joan with your Screenwriter's Rant on Outrage about political stuff in France, weirdly enough. Isn't that weird? Like, the EU is now sort of flipping right, and now suddenly there's a movie that has a character in it like Le Pen, who is now winning. Isn't that weird? Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Heart in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 14. Available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So they show this. It's almost like a montage of. It looks like a woman poisoning all the food in some way. I'm not sure if she is, but she's clearly involved somehow in what's going on with the people who have arrived at this. I assume it's a French villa, but there's an American there, and then both sides are kind of at each other's throats, and then I think they start killing each other. I'm not sure totally the motivation. Some of it is this woman wants revenge for her lost child. I don't know who killed him. But it definitely has something to do with politics. And I find this is the actor I recognize. I can't think of his name, but he's a character actor. He's been in a ton of stuff. And then the weird thing too is it's supposed to be in France, but everybody speaks English in this. So I'm like, who is this movie for? And then, how did you get so damn specific about France's politics right now? And you're putting this out right now. I mean, this literally happened yesterday. Macron comes out and suddenly calls a snap election because I don't really understand the parliamentary politics of Europe, but apparently suddenly the right is rising. My understanding is if he calls a snap election, doesn't it mean more right-wing guys will get in? And then if they get the majority, they'll vote him out and then put another guy in? Here's a theory. Is it that they know the world's going to collapse soon, or World War III is going to break out, and they want to make sure all the right-wing guys are in power so they could blame them? Is that what's happening? It's bizarre, whatever it is. But the movie itself, not very clear if she's poisoning people, because she seems to be serving everyone. Maybe this isn't poison. Maybe it's meant to be some sort of flavor enhancer. I don't know. No one seems to stop her. She seems to be one of the main characters, the cook or the maid or whatever. This dude's definitely one of the main characters. I'm not sure who he's supposed to be, but it happens around an election in France. So first act, the election is happening or close to happening. I want to say close to happening. And for whatever reason, the two political rivals are coming to this manor house in order to have dinner and work out their problems, I'm going to assume. Maybe the American, the actor I recognize, I mean, the only person I could think he could be would be like a CIA guy who's partially involved in trying to keep the government of France stable for various reasons. America wants France to do certain things. So he seems to be involved, though, with the murders. And then there's this girl who seems to be clueless about it, but then they basically tell her, well, you're going to go along with it or else, bad things are going to happen. And then this scene where suddenly she attacks her. I mean, there's just too many elements here, and it's not very clear what's going on for me. and then it's called Outrage. So the middle of the movie, I guess, is one of them dies, and then the rest of them are trying to figure out who did it, and other people are dying, or maybe they're accusing each other of something, and they're for some reason trapped at the house, and they trying to kill each other by the end of the movie, and then I want to say the Le Pen character dies because she disappears from the trailer about halfway through it. I can't quite figure it out, but it's very strange that this would drop now. It's very strange. It's almost like they told someone to make a movie like this to lay the groundwork for the real life events, and they think that by putting out a fictional account of something very similar, it will somehow ready the public to accept the outcome of what's going to happen in real life. The idea being that if they didn't put out a movie like this, it would be much more shocking. But by somehow putting out a movie that's almost the same events, they're kind of cushioning the blow. But it kind of doesn't make any sense. I mean, not the movie, but that strategy. But I can't think of any reason why this is happening other than it's just a wacky coincidence, I guess. If you believe in coincidences. Let's read the write-up. Maybe it's completely... maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here. In a secluded French chateau, a group of elite media and political personalities gather for a private dinner party. Beneath the glitz and glamour lie dark conspiracies between an extremist group and a prominent broadcast news company. As Ivy, a level-headed reporter, begins to unravel the tangled web of secrets, the partygoers realize they have stumbled onto a deadly trap. At the center of it all sits an unassuming mother with a mysterious agenda and revenge on the mind. The partygoers must not only fight for the truth, but their lives. Maybe she poisons them in such a way they can be cured, but she won't give them the antidote until they do something for her. Or something like that. But you see how it's couched, though. They're couching I think the right wing, also led by a female, just like Le Pen, as extremist. It's weird. Isn't that weird? I mean, the movie itself looks like nothing. It doesn't look like anything most people would even bother to watch, because it's sort of B-level movie making. Like, it's perfectly finely executed, but it's nothing to write home about. Like, this isn't even going to be on the list. This isn't even the numbers that I talk about every week. This probably won't even be on it. It might be, but if it did, maybe it comes in like at 1 million if you're lucky. Other than that, maybe it opens in some art house theaters and disappears, or just goes right to streaming. So the strategy I described doesn't make any sense, but how do you get this weird coincidence like this? Is it just that somebody somewhere wanted to make a movie about political intrigue, and they just threw a dart at a map and they hit France, and then they said, well, let's do this. And then they looked at the field in France and decided, well, we obviously have to make the right winger the bad guy, so we'll do this murder mystery thing, and she'll come and she'll be horribly killed, but everybody will cheer for that, and then somehow the remaining guys win. Yeah, I guess that's part of an explanation. But it kind of takes all the punch out of it, because everybody's politics are, I think, are very on their sleeve in Hollywood. Like, a real surprise would be the opposite. That, that the media is exposed as being fake. The extremist really isn't all that extreme. That was just a bunch of rhetoric to go after them, and the real killer is somebody completely different for other reasons. Maybe, I mean, at least it would be a surprise. Like, because of Hollywood the way it is, I would just assume going in that the Le Pen character would either be the bad guy or would be disposed of early because that's no big deal. So would I watch this? I'm mildly interested in watching it only because I kind of want to see how it pans out and how it compares to real life. But I don't want to see it for entertainment purposes. It doesn't look entertaining. That being said, it does look like it would be short. I don't think this is going to drag out 2 hours. But I probably wouldn't see it. But the coincidence is very strange to me. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. If you can find a more base take than that, I say, take it. I will be at Crossroads Comics and Games on Friday from 2 to 6 and be signing books and hanging out. Hope to see you there. We'll see you